Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. Little chillier today because it's early in the morning. Well, not that early. What time is it? 10:36 a.m. Yeah, compared to the last time I took the bike out. Yeah, it's about 69 degrees out right now. I figured I'd get out early in the morning, see how it turns out, you know. What am I riding today? Yeah, this is the U-Free Stellar Falcon Step Through model. Yeah, this is in the plum color. Yeah, we'll pull off a little bit later. I'll show you what the bike looks like. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on this one too. It's been a while since I've been on all my bikes. So what are we doing now? Let's see. Where should we go here? Let's take a right. Taking right here, and then we'll take a left. All right. Yeah, that's a good way to get here. I'll get off the bike and show you the bike in a second here. We'll find a spot we can stop at. There's a good spot over there. Let's take a right up on the path here. Show you what this bike looked like. You might hear the motor whining a little bit here. It takes a little time, they say, for the gears to stop making that whine. We haven't really ridden this bike all that much last year, and then of course this year we haven't ridden it at all. So let me pull it over here. Let me show you what it looks like. There you go. Now in certain angles it kind of looks like a black bike, but it really isn't. Other angles it looks like it's purple. Other angles it looks kind of brown. Let's angle this way. I don't know if it helps to look any at all. No, it kind of looks black on this one. Yeah, but I got the two baskets on, so I got the rear basket, and this basket comes off. There's also a thing here that you can, lift up and carry along with you. It's got a suspension seat post. I have the front basket on this one. It's got Schwalbe tires on there. I pumped the tires up to 30 pounds of pressure. Let's get back on the bike path here. Being a step-through design, it's a lot easier to get on and off. So, and I have this one set up again for cadence sensor. So yeah, we'll give it some time. In time, I think we'll hear less of the whining of the motor. The other Stellar Falcon that I took out, the red one, the mid-step version, I'd been riding that one a little bit more than I did on this one. This one was actually given for Mrs. Wright, but she hasn't been on it either, so essentially it's still fairly new. So we kind of hear everything. I may throttle for a while. The throttling kind of keeps the motor moving around. So we'll eventually wear it in where we won't notice the whining as much. So they tell me. There's some whining this way. Fire department whining. Yeah, fire department's not too far from here. So I don't know where they're, with their lights and sirens on, they're going someplace and not heading back. Let's go down this way here. Go under the tunnel here. right. Keep moving. We'll keep it going. Yeah. Haven't been on this path in a while, huh? This will eventually, of course, take us to the hill test. Oh, did you guys see that? I don't know what that was. Dragonfly? What was that thing? See all sorts of things out here. Let's go through this bridge. This is a slightly narrower bridge. So good thing nobody's on the bridge while we're on the bridge. Okay, we got the little kid here, so we'll hit the bell, let them know that we're coming. Thank you. He'll graduate to one of these eventually. All right, so little kid on a bike, that's always cute. But kid's learning how to ride. Good for him. He will be eventually an e-bike rider down the road. All right, which way are we gonna go? Let's go back, let's go this way. We're not gonna do the bridge, the hill test. Let's go this way. This is usually the area, general area where we do our e-bike reviews. Because off to the left here, you'll see, let me angle my camera here. You'll see the water there. It's always kind of nice to be by water. It's the only water we have in this area that I can actually do a review on. And in a certain area of it, I can be there and nobody will bother me because that one area kind of dead ends. And so people don't usually walk down that area. So it gives me some privacy to be able to do the video. Sometimes I do see people there when I'm doing the videos, but it'd be worse if I was like right over here, that everyone comes down this side of the road. So we'll go back where the circular path is. I want to see if there's anybody there. There shouldn't be anyone there because kids are in school right now. People are working. But we'll see what it looks like. I see they put up some fencing or something up there. Let's take a look. Yeah, they put something up. I don't know what they did, why they did it. Morning. It's all around the baseball field. Yeah, they put this, that's probably so that the ball can't go rolling over or past a certain area, that's all. All right, well, doesn't affect us, but it affects the baseball players. Yeah, there's nobody out here now. Yeah, this is the best time to come out here is when nobody's around. I was gonna do that the other day, but we had baseball players, soccer players, kids, and people on the bike, on this path. I like to call it a bike path, but technically it's a walk and bike path. All right, so what's new to tell you guys? Well, I'm probably gonna be ahead of you again. I have some of these videos recorded. What I've been trying to do, since I have 2 channels now, is to put some of the videos on the More From Russ channel and put some of the videos on the Russ's Right channel. So I'm kind of splitting my time between the two channels. And so at one time I had videos literally daily on the Russ's Right channel, but haven't been doing that lately, as you know. In fact, we were lucky to even get one video out a week during the winter time. Let's go slowly here. So we'll do more than that. Oh, they got an automatic robot thing spraying stuff down. She's got headphones on, so she can't hear me. Yeah, did you guys see that? I don't know if you saw that. It was like an automatic robot going on the grass, spraying stuff, so the guy doesn't even have to walk it. How do you like that? Robots are taking over. Yeah, she's got earphones on too. She can't hear anything. These bells on the U-Free, they look cool, but they are a little bit soft. But you're better off to hit them with a bell than not. So let's see what happens here. Hey, thank you. Hey, they heard it. They definitely heard it. Yeah, some bells are a lot louder. Other bells a little softer. This one's a little bit softer. It looks really cool though. I don't know if I'd rather have the looks or the volume. I think I'd rather have the volume at this point, although I kind of like the looks of this one. There you go. Thank you. All right, let's head this way. We'll go the other way. Yeah, I haven't even gotten my pizza today. Those on Russ's Right channel may not know, but I usually go for a daily pizza at Costco. Yeah, all the more from Russ people know it. Yeah, I drive them there, do a video as I'm driving, and get to talk to them as I'm driving. They keep me company. So I didn't go there yet. I did have a little bit of breakfast. I figured that's good enough for now. It'll keep me going. So I'll have pizza after I'm done with all this. All right, I have to pass this guy here. I think we passed him before. So, yeah, let's head into the forest preserves. Now, I said I wouldn't take any big fat tire bikes there, but this is kind of halfway in between. It's kind of like a hybrid. It's a commuter style bike, but it's also a fat tire bike too, in a sense. It's not quite as fat as other tires. I like these Schwalbe tires though, they're really nice. They feel good, they're quieter. Of course you can't tell, the motor whine is kind of hiding it all. And it's got a suspension seat post on it. It's got front end suspension as well. Let's go through this thing. Now this particular road here is kind of bumpy. It's been bumpy for the last couple of years. And typically every time I'm on it, I feel like when I'm talking, I'm kind of, my voice is kind of wavering because of the bumps. I hear some stuff going on here. What's going on? Oh, guys cutting grass. Yeah, it's really bumpy here. But with the suspension seat post and front suspension, you know, it kind of takes up a lot of the shock. But you feel the bumps. I can see it on my handlebars, it's bumping around. I tell you though that the suspension seat post on here really makes a difference. You can feel the absorption of the shock. You know, people have asked me before. Oh, so there's a rabbit ran across. They've asked me before, between a suspension seat post and a full suspension bike, which do you prefer, and is there one better than the other? Or is the cost of one worth it compared to the other? You know, that's a really tough question to answer. Here's my thoughts on it, at least. I don't know if everybody thinks the same way, but here's my thoughts. Let me cross through here first. Make sure we're safe to cross before we go, and everyone's stopping for me, so thank you. Always wave thank you to them, let them know you appreciate them stopping. A full suspension bike, okay, kind of protects the entire bike. It protects the front, protects the back end. It takes up the shock so that the frame doesn't have to hit that shock, hit the bumps and have a shock out of it, right? That it like could possibly damage the frame even. A suspension seat post doesn't do anything for the frame, but it helps the rider. Now, if you don't care less about how the frame is being bounced around, let's take that out of the equation. How does it feel? How does the feel any different between two? That's a hard one to answer. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that a lot of times the suspension seat post sometimes could actually feel better than the full suspension bike. Yeah, if you have the suspension on the seat post softened up, you can adjust the seat post tensions. If you have that softer, it might actually feel softer for you than a full suspension bike. Then, of course, if you have a full suspension bike that has the ability for adjustability of the rear suspension, like some of them have air shock suspensions, right? If they have air shock suspensions and you can adjust that, it may be equal to the suspension seat post feel. So that's why I say it's always very difficult to judge which is actually better compared to another one. So let's talk cost, all right? I will tell you this, the suspension seat post is gonna cost you a lot less than a full suspension bike will cost, okay? So in that sense, the suspension seat post is probably a better deal if you think about it. I hear a little bit of clicking going on. What is that? You guys hear that? Something's rubbing against something. I was going to do the hill test, but I see a person up there. I don't think it's safe for us to do that. We did a hill test on this before anyways. It does pretty well. So, we don't need to really do it, but. Yeah, he had earphones on too, so he probably didn't hear it either. Thing is, a lot of people who walk, they have things in their ears. They don't know what's going on. I mean, I know it's nice. It kind of keeps you company, just like you guys keep me company, but I don't know. If I'm a walker, I want to know what's around me. This lady had stuff in her ears too. I don't know. I'm not a fan of doing that. Anyway, so with the whole thing with the suspension seat post versus full suspension bike, I think if I had to say in general, most people would probably be better off with a suspension seat post. Yeah, I know some of you may think that's surprising to hear me say that. I'm just looking in terms of cost, okay, and feel. I think you can feel pretty good on a suspension seat post like you can on a full suspension bike, but the cost factor is a lot lower. That gives you the ability to put other stuff on your bike or just to save some money. I mean, suspension seat posts, there's two different types. There's one that's just like a post that goes up and down, and then there's ones that kind of bend backwards a little bit. That's what's on this one. It's like the Sun Tour seat post, right? That's what's on this bike. The Sun Tour seat post and similar ones bend a little bit differently. They are actually the better posts, and they're also the ones that are adjustable, okay? I don't know what they sell for nowadays. What are those things? 125? I don't know. That's give or take. Say 1 to 150, okay? A full suspension bike will cost you a lot more than that. So. I don't know what those guys are doing. Some interesting exercises going on over there. You know what they reminded me of? They were doing that. They reminded me of those You know those bags that fill up with air, and then there's a guy who's waving in a wavy bag. You know what I'm talking about? They usually put that in front of businesses that grab attention. It's a little wavy man, like a long, tall bag with arms and a face painted on it. That's what that reminded me of. I'm sure they were trying loosening up or something, but man, that sure looked funny. All right, we're gonna have to cross through here. Let this guy go first, cross over. Typically, I would have pushed the button, the crosswalk button, but she was kind of busy tying her shoes on it. Yeah, I didn't want to infringe in her area. I see how the forest preserve looks like. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the whole thing with the suspension seat post versus the full suspension bike. If you want to save some money, get a suspension seat post. If you want everything to be protected and over the shocks, then yeah, get a full suspension. Now there's different types of full suspension bikes too. There's ones that are spring loaded, right? And then there's ones that are air shocked loaded. The ones with the air is better. Yeah. I mean, between the various models of bikes that I've had, the magicycle bikes have they have the let's take the long route. The other way to the short way. Let's go the long route here. The magicycle ones have the spring that is not adjustable. It's one setting and that's it. Something like the wired bike has a air suspension on it. The Himiway D7 that I have has an air suspension option on there, right? So those could be adjusted to the settings you like. But the thing is to do those adjustments, you need a special air pump. It's not like your tire air pump. It's a special pump specifically for those things. I mean, it's a high pressure thing. It's not something that your tire inflator can do. Okay, so for you to make that adjustment, it will cost you some money to buy the compressor thing, or bring it to a bike shop and have them adjust it for you. Then they'll charge you, of course. So, all right, let's pedal a little bit here. Let's raise our pedal assist level a little bit more. We'll put it on turbo mode. Pedal with turbo. Pedal with turbo, you got some power going up here because I'm on cadence sensor. So I don't need to press hard. I just need to keep it rotating, keep my knees moving, keep my legs moving. It is a fairly steep incline as well. All right, let's lower our turbo there. Go to sport mode. Yeah, let me know if you're looking for an e-bike, or have been thinking about an e-bike with a suspension on the bike, front rear suspension. I'm talking about. Many bikes have front suspensions already. If you've been thinking one with a rear suspension, let me know what your thoughts are. Have you weighed the factors between a rear suspension and a seat post suspension? And if you've already made the decision, tell me why you made that decision. What was the deciding factor for you to go one way or the other? And if you're still up in the air, did anything I say sway you one way or the other? I want to know that too. All right, we got to cross here. This is always a tough crossing. see if anyone stops for us, but nobody usually does. One side stops, but the other side won't. So anyway, it's just kind of on my mind because you know, I've taken these two U-free bikes out now. They both have, of course, a suspension seat post. It comes with the bike. It's part of the cost of the bike, right? But they do a good job. Yeah, feels really nice when you're on it. Many people who have bought the Stellar Falcons have been very happy with it. Yeah, I may ride the Stellar Falcons a little bit more this year. Like I said, I got to break them in. The more you ride it, the more the motor works. I think what it does, it gets the gears all set up, the internal gears of the motor, so you don't notice the whine as much. Because I don't notice it as much on the red one anymore. I mean, it's there. I mean, it's going to have a certain amount of motor noise. But I notice it more on this one, and I haven't taken this bike out much at all. And like I said, even last year, we haven't really ridden it that much. So we'll see if we can break it in. Yeah, they tell me it tends to have less of the motor whine after it's been running for, you know, a couple hundred miles or so. I don't know how many miles you need, but let's take a left. But I think of the things, the criticisms for the Stellar Falcon would probably be the motor whine. Yeah. Other than that, it's a nice bike though. All right, things have not grown up yet. You know, you can see that they've cut through for grass here. They typically do that, and they keep all the other stuff as is. And that stuff hasn't grown back yet. You come out early in the morning, sometimes you see deer out here, because there's definitely deer that live in this area. They hide in the grasses, of course. And then later on, when people are out, they're not out as often. But I've run into deer many times out here, usually in the morning. I don't know what they do during the rest of the day. I'm on your left. Thank you. I think she was moving towards the left. Well, not here in the United States, okay? Move to your right, pass on your left. Yeah, well, things are getting a little greener, a little bit greener. This area here is more green. And I think the other areas, you know, like over there, is just old stuff that just never got cut down. They usually do a burn in the fall. They burn out a certain amount of stuff. I don't know if they did it this past year or not. I wasn't here during the burn time. But considering we see a lot of the stuff still kind of built up like that, I have a feeling they didn't burn it out. But they don't burn everything, they burn some of it. Because, I mean, you still got to leave something for the deer to hide in. All right, what is the path limit here? 15 miles per hour. I've been going faster than that. And there's nobody around, come on. All right, there's some people around. But in general, not a whole lot of people around. Just got hit in the face by a bug. This is a thing, you know. Sometimes you kind of wonder if you should get a full face mask helmet. And not get hit in the face by bugs. All right, well, at least things are starting to look green. in time, the trees will have their leaves up there. Everything will look nice and green again. But, you know, I did a review of this watch, right? The Cospet watch. And I told them I wanted to wait a little bit because they wanted me to test it out, you know, while riding it as well. Riding on the bike and using it. Check out the GPS functions and stuff. And I said, well, everything's browned out. You know, when they gave me the bike, everything was still brown. None of this stuff was green. I said, it's going to look awful. They said, okay, go ahead and wait a while. So I waited like a month and a half. I think it was the longest test period I had done for any product I had before actually coming out with a review. It's just a smartwatch. Yeah, I wore it for like a month and a half. Tested out everything. Yeah, it came out in flying colors. Yeah, I'm really happy with this particular model. They did a really good job on it. Tank M3 Ultra, it's called. The M3 is the rectangular version. The T3 is the circular version. I did that one like a year or so ago. T3 is now, the T3 Ultra is now called a T3 Ultra 2, I believe. So they may have added 1 or 2 additional features to that watch. They're about $149.99, these two watches. And then I think the 2-band version, meaning you get a a silicone band like what I have on here. And then they also have a steel band that comes with it. It's like $10 more. It's like $159.99. It's not too bad. All right. I think we should head out of here. What do you think? Let's head out this way. Cut through here. Across the street. I have to cross it twice here. Debating which way. Okay, this is clear, so I'm just going to go straight. And we'll take this one over here. All right, they got buttons here, so let's push it. Wait. I love that thing. Always tells you to wait. There's the fire truck. Fire department's just down the road, about a block away. We're probably heading back. All right. So now, something like this, I don't jump on the street if I can avoid it. Take the sidewalk and go to where I need to go. And then we'll cut across this parking lot area. And we'll turn right here. We've done this before. Those who've been with me before, we've done it before. You should be familiar with this. Okay, let's head this way. We'll stay within the lines, how's that? Instead of cutting across it. That guy cut across it. Through the shopping center, strip mall. All right, well, hey, it's been fun. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to go out early in the morning in a long time. It's always been too cold. If it's not too cold, it's too windy. If it's not too windy, it's raining. If it's not raining, it's snowing. So, you know, you can only go when you can go, right? But I think things are going to get better. Yeah, they're going to be at least in the upper 50s to 70s at this point. Every day I get a different, had to kick a bug off of me. It was a hitchhiker riding on my arm. Every day we get a different report of what the weather is. You know, it'll tell you one day, oh, you got a good day that's coming up, and then on the day of, oh, it's not as good as we thought it was. People make fun of meteorologists. It's like the one job that you can take a guess on and be half of the time you're wrong, and then the next day you just keep going at it. All right, let's cut through here. Yeah, we'll hit him with the bell. He's over on the left side, so we'll be probably on the right. I think with this bell, since the volume isn't there, can't hit him with just one ring. Got to hit him with several rings just so that you know you're coming. This area here is a soccer field. They actually fenced in this soccer field on this side, on the left side. Let me go here. That's now all AstroTurf. Yeah, it used to be actual grass, but they kind of got rid of the grass and put AstroTurf on it. Maybe it's just easier to maintain. They don't have to cut it or anything like that then. But then you're running around on AstroTurf and not on grass. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys for today. Appreciate you guys hanging around with me and watching everything. Hey, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know about the suspension seat posts, all right? Tell me what your thoughts are. Talk to you guys next time.